Hi everyone and welcome back to Evocative Scents. This perfume is from Fragrance World for a change. After all those Paris Corner, Latafas and Ahmad fragrances. Previously I have done few fragrance reviews from this brand and most of them had turned out to be very good. Particularly the Bavaria Man Intense and the Starman twin fragrances were fantastic from this brand. If you want to check those fragrance reviews, I will post it somewhere in the top corner. Now without any further delay, let's check this fragrance out. And while you are there, hit that subscribe button as well as notification bell so as to watch many more fragrance reviews in the future as well. Now let's start with the presentation and packaging before moving on to the smell of this fragrance. Now this fragrance has quite a lavish and opulent packaging and an equally fantastic bottle design as well. But with a one minor flaw which I will discuss later in this video. Now the box design may appear simple but it opens up quite differently. As you can see, it opens up from the front and the bottle rests at an angle, which in my opinion will look great in any fragrance collection. Now let's take a closer look at the box, because there is something different here. As you can see, there is silk like cloth which wraps around the bottle, and this looks luxurious and almost niche level packaging. And at the bottom you can also see eau de parfum concentration written on it. Now let's take a closer look at the bottle as well. Personally I love this bottle design. It looks quite cool and very different from other bottle designs. Once again there is a sticker at the bottom of the bottle mentioning Fragrance World and ADP concentration. And when I rotate the bottle, as you can see, there is Fragrance World written at the bottom. A beautiful nice touch with a shiny golden metal cap which is very heavy. And finally the star of the show is the tiger's head which appears to be coming out of the bottle. And perhaps this is the reason why the fragrance has been named as Apex, because tiger is the apex predator. Now that one little flaw is that tiger head is quite heavy. And if you aren't careful enough, the bottle might just tilt forward and fall down. Now if you're keeping this fragrance on a shelf, keep this in mind, else you will be left with a broken fragrance bottle. Now let's take a quick look at the Atomizer as well. Now this atomizer is not a pressurized one, but it does spray quite nicely. The thing is that it is a little bit harder to press, but it does throw a wide mist, not a long one. One more thing I have to mention for this particular fragrance, please, I don't repeat, please don't sniff it up close for 5 to 10 seconds. Give it some time to settle down because there is a bit of alcohol blast at the beginning. At the beginning the smell might feel a little bit sharp to some people. It is all due to the spicy nuances present in the fragrance. But after 10 to 15 minutes, the fragrance becomes quite rounded and smooth. What you are going to get at the top is a fragrant, spicy cardamom note, along with a lot of cinnamon facet. Along with that, you will also notice a bit of hint of sweetness, which reminds me a little bit of boozy sweetness, though there is no mention of boozy accords in this fragrance. The fragrance does smell a little bit mature. It does remind me a little bit of Bulgari Men in Black. Not very similar, but feels like a distant relative to it. Now this fragrance is supposed to be a clone of Penhaligon's Blazing Mr. Sam, and that one is pretty expensive. Honestly, I haven't tried that fragrance, so I can't comment how close it is to the original. I am just giving my take on this fragrance purely on its own. As I mentioned earlier, there was a spicy kick at the beginning. It was not just due to the cardamom and cinnamon note. There is also presence of black pepper and cumin seeds. From the note breakdown, you must have guessed it, right? This fragrance has a very spicy top and mid. However, most of the weight lifting is done by the base notes of this fragrance, because there is presence of sweet vanilla along with a earthy tobacco note with a hint of woodiness as well. However, the tobacco here is not assy in nature. The tobacco here is rich, warm and sweet. It provides a great depth to the fragrance and it provides a lot of characteristic to this fragrance as well. So all in all, if I have to sum up this fragrance, this perfume starts with a spicy opening with a beautiful aromatic cardamom note. Then it follows it up with a sweet, woody, powdery dry down. However, the powdery aspect is not dominant here. The vanilla along with the tobacco gives it a boozy like sweetness. This definitely is a cold weather cologne. Also, I consider this perfume to be quite versatile in nature, especially in cooler weather. This is definitely a compliment puller and is very unique in nature, so you won't be smelling like 100 other people around you. This perfume will be absolutely great for date nights but only after the first 15 to 20 minutes mark. When the spicy nuances start to settle down and the sweet, rich base notes come to the play. This fragrance can also be considered for office as well, because the sweetness here is not overpowering in nature by any stretch of imagination. This perfume leans slightly towards the masculine side of the things. It has got a very manly and handsome smell to it. However, keep in mind that this fragrance is only strictly suited to cool weather. It can be a cloying and heavy fragrance for the summers. So I would not recommend you to wear this fragrance in high heat or humid weather. Now coming to the performance of this fragrance, I would consider it to be very good. It has a nice bit of projection for an hour, and the longevity can be anywhere around 6 to 8 hours mark on the clothes. Although the projection is a bit on the softer side of the things, this perfume has a great sillage, which means it will leave a beautiful scent trail around you. I would highly recommend you to give this fragrance a try, and it can also be considered as a signature scent for the winters. The presentation, the smell, and the performance are all very good in this fragrance. I would consider it relatively safe blind buy worthy. It could have been a truly top tier fragrance had the opening a bit smoother than what it is right now. So if you liked the video, hit that like button, and if you love fragrance related content, hit that subscribe button as well, and do not forget to hit the notification bell as well. And what are your thoughts on this fragrance? Leave a comment down below. Your support really means a lot to me. And until next time, stay safe, and as always, stay honest.